Today back in my Holm Oak that I started from seed a few years ago, and it's slowly growing and it's doing alright. I said in the last video that I was going to repot it as the plastic pot was pretty much falling apart, and well, I didn't do that. Even though it was the start of spring here, I just kind of left it. I can't remember if I did that on purpose or just out of laziness, but either way there was no repotting. There is also a random birch tree in one of the corners, so I was supposed to repot it to remove that, but I'm sure it'll be fine in there for a bit longer. This tree is slow growing and I'm pretty sure it's not even root bound yet, so I'm just going to risk it for another year and hopefully the pot doesn't fall apart. This tree is interesting though. I always look at it and think it hasn't grown, but you'll see there's some lighter leaves at the tips and the branches are looking longish here, so it's clearly growing. It's just sneaky, it just goes very slow. I don't even remember the last time I did any work on it, let alone repot it. It just sits there quietly doing its thing, but with enough time it will hopefully turn into something interesting. Anyway, in July it will be growing, but you won't really notice it. But it is healthy, so that's all that matters. I do think the fact that it's a Mediterranean tree is why it's so slow. It's just used to being a little further south. Although there are some full-size ones growing in the ground here, so I think they can survive no problem, they just don't really thrive. If I had some space on the grow light, I would put it under there and see what happens. I think it would explode in a matter of days. In September it's going to be slowing down for winter. And I think I touched the slug there, something didn't feel right. Anyway, I don't think there's been much change at the start of the year, but it's healthy, so that's all that matters. There isn't going to be any change now as it's evergreen, so it'll pretty much sit like this now until spring. In November there's a large mushroom growing in the pot. I'm pretty sure I did that last year too, so I guess the conditions are just right in the pot for that. It doesn't bother the tree, so I just let it do its thing. Then in February I'm actually going to prune it back. I'd have to go back and watch other videos on the tree, but I'm pretty sure I've only pruned it once before. So this is a big deal. But really I just shortened back the longer branches. I will have to repot this year, and while I mentioned the last video I might slip pot it, I'm clearly not. I know I'm going to be looking at the roots properly, which means there may be some pruning. So it's sensible to remove some of the top, so if I do remove a lot of the roots, there's sort of less tree up top to support. And then it should be less stressful overall for the tree. But we'll see what happens. And the pruning will help create more branches anyway, so it's never a bad thing. And here we are now, where I'm just waiting for it to wake up and start pushing buds so it can be repotted. Thanks for watching, see you next time.